Let's take a look at the chart action for Bitcoin. All right, so here's what I was looking at in my last video. We're on the 4-hour time frame right now, and we have an uptrend right here. We were bouncing on it, and I was thinking until we break that going to the downside, then I'm targeting the previous resistance up here at around 51.8K. We broke that trend line going to the downside. Right now, what I'm looking at is we have support right here and support right here. We have a trend line going to the upside right here, and it looks like we're about to come in and test it. I think if we break this trend line down here, the next levels that I'll be looking at is this support and this previous support on the daily time frame over here at around 41K. I've been talking about this limit order I have at 41K for a couple videos right now, and yeah, so I'm kind of curious if we come down and hit this limit order, or if we're going to come down, keep coming down, should I say. But like I've been talking about, we still have this support and this support. We're still holding right there. Until we break this trend line going to the downside, I'll be more confident in these targets. Or once we do break this trend line going to the downside, then I'll be more confident in this target. But we still have the chance of holding right here and breaking out to the upside, in my opinion. I'm just thinking until we break down, then I'm going to be more confident. I still have a limit order right here, and I actually also put in a limit order right here at around 56.5K, the previous bottom right there, just in case we hold down. Maybe we get a wick down right here, hit this, and then keep bouncing straight. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. But in general, if we go back to the daily time frame, let's go ahead and delete everything so we can kind of get view from scratch. We have this downtrend right here. Until we break this downtrend going to the upside, then I'm assuming that we're heading to the downside, or at least we're heading to previous support levels. So we have this downtrend until we break it going to the upside. I'm looking at this level down here at around 41K. The thing that I'm hoping is that we get a bounce right here at this level, because if we go lower than 41K, somewhere down here, then we're going to be putting in lower lows, because this was a low, high, 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 low, high. So we're basically getting higher highs and higher lows. But if we come down here and get a lower low down here, this will be lower low. And then in general, it's just, that looks pretty bearish. I mean, it looks like we're in a downtrend at that point. And this would be on a bigger time frame. The other thing I was looking at is we also have this support down here and this support over here. Let's do another trend line, maybe something like, let's go to the weekly time frame. We can maybe see it a little bit better. Something like this. We have an uptrend, maybe something like this. We're kind of testing that area right now as well. So if we break this trend line and start having to maybe test this bottom over here, same deal. Maybe this will be the level that we'll be targeting, around 32K, but we don't want to break lower than that, because then we'll start hitting, I mean, that'll be even more bearish. So right now we're still above this bigger time frame right now, or we're still holding support on this trend line. And I think this bottom support right here at around 41K lines up with this trend line. Hopefully this can hold support and we keep heading up. Or if we break this one, like I was saying, if we get a lower low from there, it seems like we'll be breaking this bigger trend line as well, and maybe start heading more down. Or at least maybe come in and test this one, or maybe this one will be the target at this support level right here. Like I said, I really want to stay above this trend line right here. Hopefully we can get support down here, maybe somewhere around 41K. Let's go ahead and delete everything, and we'll look at the moving averages. So on the weekly time frame, we're still under this weekly moving average. What I really want to see us do is pop back above it. I think what we have to do is kind of stay in this area right here, let the moving average come down, and then probably pop back up, something like that. So we might be in a little bear trend for now. Until we break above this weekly moving average, then it might be giving us some resistance. It might be pushing us down a little bit, or at least just giving us some trouble. So what I really want to see us do is break above that. If we switch over the monthly time frame, we're looking at this 9 moving average right here. We actually are still above it. It looks like we're barely still above it. It looks like we're really testing it right now. So I think in general, I do not want to see us break below this 9 moving average. I think that won't be a good signal. Right now we are testing it. Let's see if we can hold support above it. Maybe we have 18 days to stay above this, or maybe get a bounce up and start heading back up. Maybe it will hold support and give us a bounce, or maybe we'll break below and start heading down further. I'm not really sure. I really don't want to see us break below this though, any more than we already are. We wicked down and it looks like we're getting a little bounce. I like the way that we wicked down and it looks like we're holding support above it still, but I don't know. In general, it looks like it's been going in and out of it, so it's not really super clear. Anyways, we got a nice breakout right here, and ever since then, it was kind of holding support on it, and we've been wicking through it, kind of going in and out of it in this area. So I don't know, the weekly looks probably a little bit more clear. If we delete everything again, we had a breakout right here, broke to the upside, and then started getting support on it, broke down right here, got resistance on it, broke up right here. It kind of went in and out at this point right here, but it did kind of hold support, and it did keep bouncing. So right now we are below it. We broke below it, so I'm kind of curious how long it's going to give us resistance and when we're going to be able to break back above it. Okay, so if we switch back over the 4-hour time frame, like I said at the beginning, I'm watching this support right here, this support right here. Let's do a trend line. We're still heading up technically, but this is a smaller time frame, so it might not matter. So I'm watching this trend line. Once we break that, then that'll be a signal that we might be heading to this support level right here. Maybe get this limit order filled. Like I said, I have a limit order set right there at this previous support. I'm kind of curious if we're going to head even further and maybe even hit my limit order sitting at around 41K right over here. Like I was saying, hopefully we can get support on this previous support right here and get a bounce out, because it lines up with this other trend line on the weekly time frame, something like this. Maybe it's even a little lower. It might not even hit it, but hopefully we do get support on this area right here when we get a breakout to the upside. Maybe we start changing direction. I'm not sure. These are the lines that I'm looking at. Let me know what you guys think. If you like the video and want to support the channel, share this video on your social media.